Cheryl, do you like these kinds of days, these media days, or do you abhor them because it takes away a day of training?
Wow. Love is probably a strong word.
Okay.
I enjoy it. And actually this morning when I woke up and I thought, I'm really excited to see how this thing has grown and how many media will be here to cover our team. So I embrace it. You guys know we love seeing you, love having you here. So no, we do. I mean, there's challenging days like anything. You're tired of talking about things, but in general, you're a fairly good-looking group that it's pretty easy to talk to.
Sure. What are your impressions early on in camp here?
We got a lot of work to do. I've got this. Kind of like these two entities that we're trying to work together. One is the experienced group that returns, and then for the first time, probably since 2010, that we've got players that are vying for jobs, and so we've got to figure out who are the best fits to add. We could have as many as 3 new players. 3, maybe 4 if you count Janelle, and that's a great thing because these rookies have come in here and done a pretty nice job.
Speaking of rookies, comment a little bit your observation so far on Lindsay Moore. What's her progression been?
The way that I describe Lindsay Moore's camp to this point is I've spoken to her very little, and that's a good thing. That means that she's navigating her way through the camp in a very successful way to this point. Her management of her team, whichever team that she's leading, has been impressive in that I haven't had to coach her through plays. She took our playbook. As we put the plays in, she has a great understanding not only what she's supposed to do, but where everyone else should be. She can look at you and say, "Hey, you're a good shooter. I got to put you over there in this spot," or get the post player and in a play call for them. So, and then probably the biggest surprise for me is, and that I missed in my evaluation, is that she's a better defensive player than I thought.
Sure.
I didn't think that she was that impactful in Nebraska, but that's on me as a scout. I missed that one.
And to talk about what kind of luxury is it for her to be under the tutelage of Lindsay Whalen?
Well, that's been fun to watch. Her missing the first day was interesting. Lindsay was pretty disappointed. Lindsay Moore was pretty disappointed. And I've just seen her, wherever Whalen is, Moore is next to her and just soaking things up. And the great thing about Whalen is obviously she's eager to impart, small things that she knows as a rookie she struggled with.
Sure.
And, Moore picks things up very quickly and has been a sponge.
Speaking of changes, can you discuss the adjustments? I was just told that Dare was waived, Taj is left, obviously Candace went to Tulsa.
Yep.
What's this Lynx group going to look like in 2013 with 3 positions to fill?
Yeah, I can only tell you that I'm sure of 8 players. 9, 10, 11 are up for grabs. And so the next, we've got until, I believe it's Thursday, to figure things out. We've got 2 preseason games, and a couple of the players have been hampered with some injuries. That throws a wrinkle into things because you're not getting the full evaluation of a player when they're playing as much as they can, as hard as they can, but they have something that's holding them back. So I don't know exactly what 2013 is going to look like as far as a final roster. I do know that the 8 returners are in a good place. They're all in great shape, and they're eager to kind of get that bad taste out of their mouth.
When you have so many people to evaluate, does that change how you approach preseason?
It's like I said, it's been a while since we've had to spend this much time. I would say in past preseasons we've spent more time on shaping what we're running, in that core group. We've spent a lot more time on the newcomers, and luckily for us, we don't start until June 1st. The league is getting ready to start a week from now. And so that extra week is going to help me with that. But we have had to spend more time on evaluations of final rosters, which hasn't been the case the last couple of years.
Does that change your rotation maybe in Bismarck, and then back here on Tuesday you're going to get some looks at people
Again, we had the balance of I need the starters or the core. I need those 8 getting their rhythm together, but I also need to see what these other players can do. I hope we do a good job of it. Bismarck is our first go around at it. Whatever we didn't accomplish on Saturday, we'll look to clean up and accomplish on Tuesday as far as the evaluations to give everyone the fairest chance possible. Honestly, really far behind. She came over here. We made the trade for her, I believe, in March. And she made the trip over here to Minneapolis a couple of times to spend a week. So we probably had a total of 10 or 12 days, maybe 12 to 14 days with her, trying to prepare her for what it was going to be like in our training camp and life in the WNBA again. And she was a little bit behind the eight ball because of where she was, because there was a time when maybe she was thinking about not playing basketball, so some things fell off for her. But I think she's done a great job getting up to speed pretty quickly. So what she's doing now is trying to manage herself physically, at the same time try to figure out basketball-wise how she fits into our group and what we need her to do. So it's been a busy, how long we've been here, 9 or 10 practices. It's been a busy time for her trying to figure things out. But she's done an admirable job to this point. I'm looking for this next stretch for her to be really, really pivotal for our group.
Is the window training?
She's got a job on our roster. What I told her in the off season was that I believed that her and Rebecca Brunson were our two best post players. For what I knew, and having not seen Amber or Dev at that point, but I told her that the job was not given to her, and that she had to come in here and she had to prove it and be better than Amber and Dev. And I would say as a basketball player, she is. But whether she can keep herself on the floor with health, I need to have a player that's dependable in a starting position. So.
Talk about the relationship between Waylon and McCarville, having them back together, and what that's brought to the team so far, and what you see it bringing to the team as the year goes on now.
Honestly, I don't know that it's the chemistry is there, but I don't know that it's impacted our team just yet. Because we've only been here for 10 days, and like I said, Janelle's been struggling a little bit early with not being there. I think that component will evolve more as we start to play games and the rotation is set. But we haven't seen it just yet.
Couple more guys.
Is the atmosphere of practice a little bit different with less outside pressure, not as much road to repeat talk as last year?
Yeah. This group has high expectations of themselves, and I think that's what you see when you come in. When you guys come into practice, no one is sitting around loafing around. They're all hard at work, and I'm talking about my oldest players who you would think have arrived at the top of their game, that they're trying to improve. There's no greater expectations on us than what we would place on ourselves. The road to repeat, that's a whole other animal when you're trying to defend your championship. So I don't know that there's less pressure, because we didn't win, because you still look at our roster and we have one of the best rosters in the league. So there is some element of pressure, but maybe that run is over. It's a little more manageable, if you will.
But is that window of opportunity for championship runs certainly still wide open?
Oh, absolutely. When you have 3 Olympians on your team, if they're all healthy, if we go into this thing and we're able to get through a full season with everybody, there's no question in my mind that the expectation is to be there at the end. Now, the impact of Brittany Griner in Phoenix and a healthy Diana Taurasi after her oral surgery and things that she went through last year. That was tongue-in-cheek, everyone. The LA, I think with the addition of Harding, I think that was a really strong acquisition. But, we're okay with everyone talking about Phoenix and LA.
Is there anything more you're asking from Maya Moore this year?
Yeah.
What kind of expectations are on her shoulders going on?
Asking for a lot from Maya. Lindsay Whalen needed to take a step. Simone Augustus needed to take a step forward. Maya needed to take 2 steps forward. And, you're going to see her in important roles offensively where we're able to run plays for her to score the ball in key moments, whereas oftentimes she was a second option, where Simone was the option, or Whalen would make the play. I think Maya is now in a role that, she's matured, she's evolved her game, she's got a better handle, her ability to play one-on-one. And then in the post, she's been pretty good down there on the block. So yeah, her evolution is really important, and people think she's great now, and she certainly has been. But I told her, she's got at least 4 steps to go as a professional athlete, and we need 2 of them this year.
Cheryl, what have you seen from Jackie just in this camp and working through everything she's been through to get to this point and still have a chance to play in this league?
The unfortunate part for Jackie, she was one of my quad strains.
Okay.
So she has been limited in activity has been, this week has been a fairly solid week for her in that she's been in more than what she's been out, but she's still not full. What I see is a tremendous shooter from deep range, a good passer. She has spent so much time trying to catch up and learn that I don't know that I have the full evaluation of Jackie just yet.